Look at your garage right now. What do you see? You probably see a place where your car sleeps, or maybe it's just a 25 square meter storage unit for things you haven't touched since 2021. You're looking at it and thinking, it's just a garage. But here's the thing, and this is what's going to change the way you look at your property forever. While you're using that space to store a 1.5 million peso SUV that depreciates every single day, your neighbor is using their garage to generate 100,000 pesos in monthly cash flow. Imagine waking up on the first of the month and realizing your mortgage is already paid for, not by your salary, but by the unused dirt under your car. Imagine providing a high-end, private entry studio for a corporate expat or a digital nomad who is tired of the crowded elevators and condos and wants the quiet luxury of the South. Most people think that to make money in real estate, you have to buy a new condo. But in 2026, with interest rates still settling and condo association dues skyrocketing, the smartest Joe on the block isn't buying more air. They're converting their own ground. Today, I'm giving you the 3-step legal rescue plan to turn your garage into a 100,000 pesos a month printing press. My name is Remy from Rem Club, and I educate the average Joe, real people just like you, the intricacies of real estate in Southern Metro Manila. If you're someone who is looking to learn more about real estate, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, let's be real for a second. We are living in the era of the space hack. The old rules of buy, wait, and pray are dead. In 2026, the real winners are the ones who can look at a 24 square meter box and see a 1.2 million peso equity jump. If you've been sitting on an empty garage because you're waiting for the right time to invest, I'm here to tell you, the investment is already under your feet. The garage trap versus the studio goldmine. Here's the first assumption we need to kill. Garages are for cars. Using a 25 square meter space in a prime village like BF Homes or Alabang Hills just to park a car is like using a Louis Vuitton bag to carry groceries. It works, sure, but it's a massive waste of the asset's highest and best use. In 2026, the average rent for a premium private entry studio in the South is touching 35,000 pesos to 50,000 pesos for long-term leases. If you pivot to the staycation or executive rental market, think Airbnb for corporate expats. That number jumps to 4,500 pesos per night. The math. 4,500 pesos times 22 nights, 73% occupancy, equals 99,000 pesos per month. Now, let's compare that to buying a condo in a prime tower. Option A, the condo. You buy a 24 square meter studio in a new development for 8 million pesos. You pay 4,000 pesos per month in association dues. Your net ROI? Maybe 4% if you're lucky. Option B, the garage. You already own the land. You spend 1.2 million pesos on a high-spec conversion. We're talking high-end tiles, industrial glass, and a split-type AC. The ROI? You are earning the same 100,000 pesos per month, but your purchase price was 1/7 of the condo's. Your ROI isn't 4%. It's 80% to 100% per year. Why are we still fighting over condo units when we have gold mines sitting next to our living rooms? The psychology of privacy-first living. Here's what most people don't realize. The 2026 tenant is exhausted. They're tired of waiting 10 minutes for an elevator in a 40-story tower. They're tired of hearing their neighbor's dog bark through paper-thin condo walls. There is a massive psychological shift happening toward low-density privacy. An expat working at Northgate or a doctor at Asian Hospital doesn't want a unit. They want a home base. A converted garage studio offers something a condo can never provide: a private entrance. When a tenant can park their car, walk 3 steps, and be in their own private sanctuary without seeing a single security guard or neighbor, that is a premium experience. And in real estate, premium experience is just code for I can charge 30% more rent. The legal rescue. Now, you might be thinking,
Remy, is this even legal? Can I just put a bed in my garage and call it a day?
no. Please, for the love of your bank account, do not be that person. If you do this colorum style, your HOA will shut you down. Or worse, the Office of the Building Official, OBO, will slap you with a notice of violation that costs more than your renovation. The legal blueprint, zoning check. You need to see if your lot is zoned as R1, single family, or R2, low-density residential. In many R1 villages like Ayala Alabang, auxiliary dwelling units, or ADUs, are strictly regulated. You might need to frame it as a guest suite or home office on paper. The building permit. According to the National Building Code, PD 1096, any conversion of use requires a new permit. You need an architect to sign off on a change of use plan. The certificate of occupancy. Once the work is done, you need a final inspection. Without this, your rental income is unprotected by law. Here's the kicker. A legal studio adds value to your property appraisal. An illegal one is a liability that a future buyer will use to beat you down on the price. Do it right, or don't do it at all. The subgrade engineering. This is where most Joes fail. They treat a garage like a bedroom. Look, a garage floor is usually lower than the main house and sloped toward the driveway for drainage. If you just lay tiles on top of that, you're going to have a swamp the first time a habagat hits. The engineering checklist, vapor barrier and leveling. You must install a moisture barrier and then pour a self-leveling compound to raise the floor to the same height as your house. The double wall method. Garage walls are often single-layer hollow blocks. They leak heat and sound. You need to fur the walls out with metal studs and add rock wool insulation. This isn't just for sound. It's so your aircon doesn't have to fight the afternoon sun hitting that concrete. Plumbing rough-in. This is the most expensive part. Since a garage doesn't usually have a toilet line, you have to jackhammer the slab to connect to your septic tank. Expect to spend 80,000 pesos to 150,000 pesos just on this invisible work. The industrial chic design. Finally, let's talk about the wow factor. If you want 100,000 pesos a month, your studio can't look like a converted garage. It needs to look like a designer loft. In 2026, the industrial look is still king for small spaces. The entrance. Replace that heavy roll-up door with a massive black-framed glass wall and a sliding door. It floods the space with light and instantly signals luxury. The kitchenette. Use a linear kitchen along one wall, quartz countertops, and a built-in induction stove. The lighting. Use warm track lighting. It hides the fact that the ceilings might be a bit lower than a standard house. This is where it gets really interesting. Because the space is small, you can afford premium materials. Use that 5,000 pesos per slab Italian porcelain tile. Why? Because you only need 25 square meters of it. In a big house, that would cost 2 million pesos. In your garage, it costs 125,000 pesos, and it makes the room look like it's worth 10 million pesos. Real estate isn't about the size of the house. It's about the efficiency of the space. If you are sitting there with an empty garage and a heavy mortgage, you are literally sleeping on a gold mine. You don't need to be a developer. You don't need a 50 million peso loan. You just need the courage to stop using your most valuable asset as a storage room for old newspapers. Turn your garage into a studio. Turn your expense into an income. And for heaven's sake, stop letting your car live in a more expensive room than you do. Make sure to subscribe to REM Club so you can keep getting the real, unvarnished truth about real estate in the South. My name is Remy, and I'm here to help you win. Next up, since we're on the subject anyway, I'll show you how to turn a guest house into a 1.2 million pesos annual side hustle, the ADU strategy for South owners. Remember, stop parking your money. Start growing it. I'll see you in the South. Go to our channel for full-length educational and data-driven videos on Southern Metro Manila real estate. Visit our website for a list of various curated properties in the South. Email us if you would like to buy, sell, or lease properties. Till then, we'll see you in the South.